Richard Goodall is an upcoming old singer who gained immense popularity and astounded audiences. His remarkable vocal talent has captivated fans worldwide. However, beneath the elegant Richard's voice is a heart-wrenching, tragic story of the old man's life. Listening to his story, you would shed a tear. Join us as we delve into the poignant and challenging life journey of Richard Goodall.
Richard Goodall's story is a testament to the power of dreams and the extraordinary moments that can arise from ordinary lives. Born and raised in Terre Haute, Indiana, Richard spent his early years much like any other child in a small town. With a modest home and a loving family, he found his greatest joy in music. From an early age, Richard's Radio Shack stereo was his closest companion. He would spend hours in his room, singing along to his favorite songs, dreaming of a stage far larger than his bedroom. As Richard grew older, life's responsibilities began to take precedence over his musical aspirations. Upon finishing high school, he needed to find a stable job to support himself. College was not in the cards for Richard, so he turned to a career that was both accessible and steady: janitorial work. He began working at Chauncey Rose Middle School, a mere 3 blocks from his childhood home. The job offered a sense of stability, even if it didn't satisfy his deepest passions. For 23 years, Richard diligently fulfilled his duties as a janitor. He took pride in his work, ensuring the school was clean and safe for the students and staff. Despite the humble nature of his job, Richard's spirit remained undeterred. He would often sing while he worked, his voice filling the empty hallways and classrooms. His impromptu performances did not go unnoticed. Students and teachers alike were captivated by the janitor with the golden voice, often stopping to listen and applaud. Richard's reputation as the singing janitor began to grow within the school. His performances at school events, especially during Veterans Day celebrations, where he often sang "God Bless the USA" by Lee Greenwood, became a highlight for the community. His voice brought joy and a sense of unity, and the students affectionately referred to him as Mr. Richard. In 2022, during one of these school events, the teachers encouraged Richard to choose a song that truly showcased his talent. Richard selected Journey's iconic anthem, "Don't Stop Believing." As he sang, a teaching assistant recorded his performance and later posted the video on TikTok. The clip captured the raw emotion and power of Richard's voice, and by the next morning, it had gone viral, amassing over 100,000 views. By the end of the weekend, the video had surpassed 1 million views, drawing comments from fans and even members of Journey itself, including Steve Perry.
Just a small town girl, living in a lonely world.
The video continued to gain traction, and before long, it caught the attention of the producers of America's Got Talent, AGT. They reached out to Richard, inviting him to audition for the show. With a mixture of excitement and disbelief, Richard accepted. The small-town janitor was about to step onto one of the biggest stages in the world. 2 years after the viral video, on May 27th, Richard found himself in front of AGT's star-studded panel of judges: Simon Cowell, Sofia Vergara, Heidi Klum, and Howie Mandel. Nervous but determined, Richard took a deep breath and began to sing "Don't Stop Believing." His performance was nothing short of spectacular, earning him a standing ovation from the audience and judges alike. Heidi Klum, moved by Richard's talent and story, hit the golden buzzer, sending him directly to the live shows. The golden confetti fell around him, marking a transformative moment in Richard's life. Overwhelmed with emotion, Richard expressed his gratitude, noting how surreal it felt to be living his dream. As he progressed to the live shows, Richard continued to captivate audiences with his powerful voice and humble demeanor. His story resonated with millions as he embodied the very essence of hope and perseverance. The journey from janitor to potential superstar was a testament to the unexpected turns life can take. Throughout the competition, Richard remained grounded. His music team, who joined him in July, helped him select songs that showcased his vocal range and emotional depth. AGT's support staff ensured he had everything he needed, from technical assistance with social media to emotional support during the intense competition. As the live shows approached, the excitement in Terre Haute grew palpable. The entire community rallied behind Richard, organizing watch parties and voting drives to support their local hero. On August 13th, the day of the live show, families and friends gathered around their televisions, eager to see Richard perform once again. Richard's future, regardless of the competition's outcome, looked bright. His newfound fame opened doors to opportunities he had only dreamed of. Offers to record albums, perform at various venues, and collaborate with renowned artists began to pour in. Yet, through it all, Richard remained the same humble janitor who sang in the hallways of Chauncey Rose Middle School. Looking ahead, Richard envisioned a life where he could balance his love for music with his commitment to his community. He dreamed of using his platform to inspire others, especially the students who had always believed in him. He planned to continue working at the school, now not just as a janitor, but as a living testament to the power of dreams and the importance of never giving up. In interviews, Richard often shared his message of hope. He encouraged people to put down their phones, connect with their loved ones, and pursue their passions, no matter how unlikely they seemed. His story was a reminder that extraordinary moments could happen to anyone, at any time. Richard Goodall's journey from a singing janitor to a national sensation was more than a tale of unexpected fame. It was a story of resilience, community, and the enduring power of music. As he stood on the AGT stage, under the spotlight and surrounded by applause, Richard knew that this was just the beginning. The best was yet to come.
Richard Goodall had a voice that could touch hearts. For years, people around him kept telling him how amazing his singing was. They said he should try out for a singing competition, and eventually, Richard decided to listen. He had seen the love and support he got on social media whenever he shared his singing, and he felt it was time to take the next step. The Voice, one of the biggest singing competitions, seemed like the perfect place for him to showcase his talent. Richard chose a song that meant a lot to him, Don't Stop Believing. He practiced, poured his heart into it, and sent in his audition video, hoping this would be his big break. But then, the news came. Richard received an email from The Voice that shattered his hopes. Hello, Richard. Thank you so much for auditioning in our virtual open call. We have reviewed your performance of Don't Stop Believing. Unfortunately, you will not be moving on to the next round. Please keep working, and we hope to see you again next season. The words hit Richard hard. He had believed in his talent and thought he had a real chance. The rejection felt like a punch in the gut. He couldn't believe that The Voice didn't want him. It was more than just disappointment. It was a deep hurt. Richard had always been told he was good enough, and now it felt like that wasn't true. But Richard wasn't one to give up easily. Instead of letting this rejection bring him down, he decided to turn it into motivation. He took to Instagram to share his feelings with his supporters. In his post, he wrote, "Just so everyone knows what I'm worthy of The Voice, but I'll try for AGT. But regular people just don't cut it in this world. Love you all for your support, Richard Goodall." It was clear that Richard was hurt, but he was also determined. The Voice may have turned him away, but Richard wasn't going to let that be the end of his dream. He decided to audition for America's Got Talent, AGT, another huge stage where he could show the world what he was made of. Richard's journey was far from over. He knew that he had something special, and he was ready to prove it to everyone, even if The Voice had missed the chance to see it. With a heavy heart but a strong spirit, Richard prepared himself for the next challenge, knowing that this was his moment to shine. As Richard took his talent to AGT, he carried with him the pain of rejection, but also the hope of a new beginning. He was determined to make his dreams come true, no matter how many setbacks he faced. Richard's story is one of resilience, showing that even when life throws obstacles in your way, you can keep going and find new paths to success. Richard Goodall touched many hearts when he appeared on America's Got Talent and spoke so lovingly about his fiancée, Angie, but there's a part of his life that he hasn't shared with the world, a part filled with deep sorrow and loss. Before Angie came into his life, Richard had a wife whom he loved dearly. Her name has not been made public, but the story of their life together is one of love, pain, and heartache. Richard's first wife was his partner for 30 years. Together, they built a life full of love and special memories. They celebrated every Christmas and Valentine's Day with joy, and the photos of those times show just how much they meant to each other. Their smiles, the way they looked at each other, everything showed the strong bond they shared. But life can be very hard. In 2021, Richard's world was turned upside down. His wife was diagnosed with cancer, a battle that no one ever wants to face. Richard did everything he could to support her, standing by her side as she fought the disease. He poured all his love and strength into helping her, but cancer is a cruel enemy. On June 19th, 2021, Richard lost his beloved wife. The pain of losing her was unbearable. On Instagram, Richard shared a message that showed just how much he was hurting. He wrote, "I'm so sorry. I did my best, but my best wasn't good enough. Cancer is like getting punched in the gut, falling to the ground, then told to get back up and start all over." These words came straight from his heart, showing the deep sorrow he felt. He wanted to protect her, to save her, but in the end, he couldn't. For Richard, losing his wife was like losing a part of himself. They had shared so much, 30 years of love, laughter, and life together. The photos of them from happier times are a bittersweet reminder of what once was and what was lost too soon. Despite the pain, life had to go on. After some time, Richard found love again. On August 25th, not long after his wife's passing, he posted posted a picture on Instagram with Angie, the woman who brought a new light into his life. The caption read, "Fun night with my lane at Taco Tequilas." It's clear that Angie brought joy back into Richard's life, but it's also clear that the road to happiness was paved with tears and heartache. Richard's story is one of love and loss, of pain and healing. It's a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is hope for a new beginning, but the scars of the past remain. As we look at Richard's journey, we see a man who has faced incredible loss, but who has also found a way to keep moving forward, carrying the memory of his first wife in his heart as he steps into a new chapter of his life.
What were the secrets about Richard Goodall that America's Got Talent kept hidden? Richard Goodall won the Golden Buzzer on America's Got Talent, but before his performance, he told us about himself. He mentioned that he is just a janitor and has a fiancée. However, what we discovered about him is shocking. So let's get started. Richard spoke lovingly about his fiancée, Angie, on America's Got Talent, but there's a part of his life he hasn't shared with the world. Richard had a previous wife, whose name remains private, but we have some pictures of her that tell a bittersweet story. Tragically, she passed away on June 19, 2021, after battling cancer. On Instagram, Richard shared a heartbreaking message about his late wife. "I'm so sorry. I did my best, but my best wasn't good enough. Cancer is like getting punched in the gut, falling to the ground, then told to get back up and start all over." These words resonate deeply, showing the pain and struggle he endured. Their relationship spanned an incredible 30 years, filled with love and cherished moments. They were inseparable, celebrating every Christmas and Valentine's Day together. The photos of them during these occasions reveal a bond that was truly special. But life took an unexpected turn. Not long after his wife's passing, Richard found love again. On August 25th, he posted a new image on Instagram with his new love, Angie, captioning it, "Fun night with my lane at Taco Tequilas." It seems Richard has found happiness again, but the journey to this point was undoubtedly filled with heartache. Richard often mentioned that he was alone in his room, singing with his radio stereo and lamenting that he didn't have a band. But that's not entirely true. Richard Goodall is actually part of a local band in Terre Haute, Indiana, called Menopause. Everything changed when a TikTok video of Richard singing Journey at a middle school went viral. Suddenly, Menopause started getting requests to perform at local bars. They accepted every offer, and by July, the band was fully booked. Richard exclaimed, "And just like that, we're booked every weekend in July. Thank you to the band for their awesome hard work and to our manager for securing the gigs. See you folks Saturday night at Archie's Sports Bar at 7:30. Don't miss a note." There's even talk that Richard might perform with Menopause in the finals of America's Got Talent. One of Richard's bandmates shared, "I wasn't surprised at all by the response. I knew this was coming. He deserved it. He's just so good, especially at singing Journey. He's the perfect Journey singer." Richard Goodall once sang alone in his room, dreaming of having a band. Now, with Menopause, he's a viral sensation. American Got Talent has announced they will be covering all of Richard Goodall's expenses for his journey to the competition. As you know, Mr. Goodall works as a janitor and doesn't make a lot of money, making it difficult for him to afford plane tickets, accommodations in California's expensive hotels, and other related costs. But here's where the story takes a heartwarming turn. Chris Burson, a fellow resident of Terre Haute, Indiana, took it upon himself to launch a GoFundMe campaign, raising a remarkable $15,000. His rallying cry was, "Let's give Terre Haute, Indiana's AGT Golden Buzzer winner, our support." Richard Goodall traveled to the first competition alone on his first ever flight. This August, he returns for 10 days to compete at the next level. Your generosity will allow him to have a worry-free experience financially. His travel and accommodations are covered, but his support group and other expenses are not. Let's ensure his family can accompany him and that he has whatever else he might need. The campaign, started on May 30th, 2024, has already hit its goal as of June 9th, with an overwhelming 382 people contributing to the cause. The outpouring of support from the community has been nothing short of extraordinary. This collective effort ensures that Richard Goodall, who touched hearts with his Golden Buzzer performance, can focus entirely on his next competition, backed by the love and support of his community. Richard Goodall had a chance to sing in front of a huge crowd in August 2022. He sang the song "Don't Stop Believin' with Rudy Cardenas from American Idol. That night, Richard stood on stage like he had done it many times before. He looked very comfortable and confident. The song "Don't Stop Believin' was just right for his strong voice. Rudy Cardenas, a singer from Venezuela who was on American Idol and sings in a rock band, saw a video of Richard singing "Don't Stop Believin'." He was so impressed that he asked Richard to join him on stage, and before they started singing, Rudy introduced Richard to the crowd in a very exciting way.
I recently learned that there has been a TikTok phenomenon. Maybe you and half the country have seen it, but there is a singing janitor from right here in Terre Haute. And let me tell you, when I saw the video, I was like, there is no way that this is real. But let me tell you right now, it is real, and he's here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, dreams do come true. Let me introduce to you an amazing singer, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Goodall.
Together, Richard and Rudy created a magical moment with their singing. Richard's story of going from being a janitor to singing with a famous singer like Rudy shows how dreams can come true if you keep believing. After his performance, Richard posted a video on Instagram and he said, "An absolute awesome day. Thank you to the Drake family for setting this up, Jeff Gindhart and Chelsea for being my brother from another mother and filming me, and the whole Mill staff, the awesome band and my Terre Haute friends in the audience. I hope more to come. Still enjoying the ride, y'all. Richard and Angie." After many years of people telling Richard Goodall that his voice was amazing and that he should audition for a singing competition, he finally decided to try out for The Voice. He had seen how much people loved his singing on social media and he felt ready to take the next step. Richard sent in a video of himself singing "Don't Stop Believing" for the audition, hoping to make it onto the show, but then he got a disappointing email from The Voice. "Hello Richard, thank you so much for auditioning in our virtual open call. We have reviewed your performance of Don't Stop Believing. Unfortunately, you will not be moving on to the next round. Please keep working and we hope to see you again next season." Richard was crushed. He couldn't believe they didn't want him on the show, but instead of giving up, he decided to try out for America's Got Talent, AGT. He shared his thoughts on Instagram saying, "Just so everyone knows what I'm worthy of The Voice, but I'll try for AGT. But regular people just don't cut it in this world. Love you all for your support, Richard Goodall." The Voice had missed a big opportunity by not giving Richard a chance, but Richard didn't let this stop him. He was determined to show everyone his talent on AGT. His journey was far from over, and he was ready to prove that he could make his dreams come true. After Richard Goodall's TikTok went viral, he caught the attention of some big names in the music world. One of those big names was Steve Perry, a famous American singer and songwriter. When Steve Perry commented on Richard's TikTok saying, "I love this," it was a huge moment for Richard. To have someone he admired so much appreciate his voice meant the world to him. Richard responded to Steve Perry with gratitude, saying, "Love your music, sir. Thank you for commenting. This means so much to me. Thank you." You could tell from Richard's reply just how much he admired Steve Perry, but it didn't stop there. Richard received support from all over. The official Journey account on TikTok reposted Richard's TikTok to show their support. Even Howie Mandel, a famous comedian and judge on America's Got Talent, posted a video reacting to Richard's TikTok, writing at the bottom that Richard needs to be on AGT. At first, Richard couldn't believe it. He thought it might be fake accounts or videos. He didn't want to get too excited in case it wasn't real, but then he found out it was genuine, and it was a dream come true.
Romantic, I forgot somehow.